All right, so today we're diving into a really fascinating framework for understanding, well, ourselves. It's called the 12-loop and Hyperion lattices, and it's basically a way to map not just what's going on inside our heads, but also how we connect with everyone and everything around us. So let's just jump right in.
And we're kicking things off with this quote because, honestly, it just nails it. It perfectly captures the two big ideas we're going to explore. You've got two systems, right? They're separate, but they're totally linked. One is all about our own personal growth, that's our becoming, and the other is about how we fit into the world, that's our belonging.
Okay, so first up, let's look inward. We're going to start with the system that the source material calls the 12-loop lattice. And you can just think of this as your own personal blueprint for well-being. Think of it like an internal dashboard. For you, it's a map that has these 12 key indicators, and they tell you, pretty much at a glance, how you're really doing. It helps you see where you're strong, where you're thriving, and, maybe where you could use a little extra support. So let's break down how this dashboard is actually laid out. See the rows? They kind of move up, starting from our most basic fundamental needs like safety and feeling connected, all the way up to our higher purpose, stuff like legacy. Then you've got the columns, structure, stamina, and rhythm. These are all about how we manage those needs. Structure is your foundation. Stamina is your grit, your ability to keep going. And rhythm is all about your flow and how you adapt. Put them all together and you get a really complete picture of what's going on inside. So what's the point of all this detail? Well, it's actually super simple. The whole purpose of this map isn't to make you feel overwhelmed. It's to help you find just one thing, what the source calls your weakest verb. Maybe your alignment is feeling a bit off, or maybe your resilience is low. Just identifying that one specific area is the key. It's the first step to getting the right kind of help. Okay, so if the 12-loop is the blueprint inside of us, where do we get that help? Well, that brings us to the second half of this whole model, the Hyperion lattice. If the first part is a personal blueprint, think of this part as the city grid that connects all of us together. And this really lays it out perfectly. The 12-loop, that's your internal state. The Hyperion lattice, that describes your external connections. One is the grammar of becoming who you are, and the other is the grammar of belonging to something bigger. See how they fit? So what exactly is this Hyperion lattice? Well, it pictures all of us as nodes in a giant network. The edges are just our relationships, the connections between us. And all the support, the communication, the good stuff that travels between people, those are called packets. It's a really clean, kind of beautiful way to visualize our social world. Okay, let's zoom in on these building blocks for a second, because this is where it gets really, really cool. Nodes, that's easy, that's us, the people. Edges are the relationships that tie us together. But then you have Kappa. That's a way to actually measure the strength of a relationship. And SFC, this one is fascinating. It measures how resilient a relationship is, like how fast can you bounce back after a fight or a problem. And finally, the packets are the actual stuff we share. Advice, an encouraging word, you name it. All right, now for the part where it all clicks together. Because these two systems, the internal you and the external network, they aren't actually separate. They're designed to lock together to form one single, unified system that the source calls state times flow. So that's the big question, right? We've got this detailed map of our inner world and a map of the network we live in. How in the world do they talk to each other? And the answer is actually pretty beautiful in its simplicity. Your internal state, that 12-loop we talked about, signals that you have a specific need. And then the network, the Hyperion lattice, kicks in. It becomes the delivery system, figuring out the best path to route the right kind of support, the right packet, directly to you. So let's walk through how this would actually play out in the real world. Step 1, your personal blueprint flags a need. Let's say your alignment is low. Step 2, the network automatically finds the best person to help and the strongest connection to send that help through. And step 3, and this is absolutely crucial, system guardrails make sure everyone's energy is protected. This is what prevents burnout and makes sure that helping each other is actually sustainable. And all of this leads to the ultimate purpose, the real why behind this whole system. It's not just about fixing problems as they pop up, it's about fostering growth. The source calls this the progressive autonomy principle. So, what does that actually mean? Well, it means that a truly healthy network doesn't want to keep people dependent on it. Its entire purpose is to help people build their own internal strength and wisdom so they can move from a place of needing help to a place of being a strong, independent peer within that network. You can think of this as a journey, right? It happens in a few key stages. When you start, you might need a lot of guidance, strong support, clear rules. But over time, you start to internalize those lessons and you build steadiness.
And then finally, you achieve what's called earned freedom, where you're not just taking from the network, you're a trusted, self-sufficient pillar of it. And the source gives us this really powerful metaphor to make it crystal clear. It's like the ideal parent-child relationship. A good parent's goal isn't to control their kid forever, right? It's to guide them toward a handshake among equals, to help them become a capable, independent adult who can stand on their own 2 feet.
So if you're going to remember one thing, one single mantra from all of this, let it be this. Find the one thing inside you that needs fixing. Route help through your strongest, most reliable relationships, protect everyone's energy so nobody burns out, and focus on what actually gets done. The results, not all the drama and process along the way.
And that really leaves us with a big question to chew on, doesn't it? If this model is such a powerful blueprint for how individuals and small groups can thrive, could we scale it up? Could this also be a blueprint for building better families, better companies, maybe even better communities? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.